Officials confirmed one of the 3 people shot and killed was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
I see a group of people coming. In my mind, I'm just thinking regular in reality, like you would think. I'm about to let these people walk past me. I'm not about to try to go through these people or nothing like that. Because I know, like, in the Hollywood world, I don't want, like, I'm thinking it's some regular individuals. If I was...
The late autumn sun rose over Atlanta, illuminating a city alive with music and industry energy. From the outside, November 5th, 2020, began like any other day, but for Dayvon Bennett, known to the world as King Von, a feeling of anticipation lingered in the air. Just days earlier, he had released Welcome to O Block, an album deeply rooted in his turbulent Chicago upbringing. On this day, Von was surrounded by friends at an Atlanta residence, fielding congratulatory calls and direct messages from fans and industry insiders alike. The air was thick with the anticipation of something greater, a sense that Von's name was about to firmly etch itself into hip-hop's pantheon. That morning, Von's laughter echoed off hardwood floors as his team shuffled plans for the day. Interviews, studio time, even a possible impromptu video shoot. The mood was celebratory, but not without its shadows. Von lived constantly alert, a habit forged during years dodging danger in Chicago's O Block. Friends noticed how even the simplest routines were conducted with quick glances over his shoulder. Despite the trappings of fame, Von moved with a guarded edge, a stark reminder that the streets never really let you go. In the late afternoon, Von reached for his phone. From his hotel suite, he posted to Instagram gratitude for his burgeoning success, a shout-out to his ever-expanding fan base, punctuated with a short, cryptic message, "Stay dangerous." The caption sent ripples across social media. Supporters interpreted it as another example of Von's signature bravado, but those who knew him recognized a more complicated truth. The post was both a celebration and a warning, a message to rivals and those who would test him. The post garnered thousands of likes within minutes, with fans and industry colleagues flooding the comments. In private conversations, Von and his crew spoke about the possibility of trouble lurking. His past, after all, was populated with old scores and neighborhood
Ain't no rap beef,
feuds.
and it ain't no real beef unless somebody got shot or something, or unless somebody...
People told me you and Youngboy was beefing or something like that.
Nah,
You
that
said
ain't
something
fair,
about,
that's
yo, what happened, Von? What's going on with you, man?
Yet he refused to let the shadows cloud the day. Instead, he steeled himself for celebration. The mix of confidence and caution threaded through his interactions, reflecting an artist aware of the tightrope he walked. By early evening, preparations kicked into high gear. The plan was to hit Atlanta's Monaco Hookah Lounge, a local hotspot renowned for its music scene and late-night energy. Von dressed with precision, designer jeans, a crisp t-shirt, his trademark jewel-studded chains, and a freshly lined haircut. Photos from the night show his genuine smile, the camaraderie palpable among friends. Despite his easy exterior, Von clocked unfamiliar faces, soft voices swirling with rumors of Quando Rondo's entourage being in the vicinity.
Around in the area.
Yeah, they seen so-and-so.
Yeah. And Von jumps out of the car and literally bumps into him.
Yeah, facts.
Where are you during this time?
Right there.
You're
in the
actually
front.
right with him.
I'm in the front seat. Cut.
As Von and his group rolled to the lounge, the city lights shimmered past the tinted SUV windows. Inside Monaco, the mood was electric. The sound system thumped with drill beats, the air tinged with sweet tobacco and anticipation. Von greeted fans, posed for selfies, and kept close to his crew, his sharp gaze quick to process every movement in the club. Hours before the chaos, the vibe in Monaco began to shift. Subtle signals caught Von's attention. A few men, not from his clique, sat hunched at the bar, casting sideways glances. At one point, a glass shattered somewhere in the crowd, drawing nervous laughter and flashing looks. Von's longtime friend and bodyguard later described how Von had started texting, His attention split between group convos and the dance floor. The tension was unspoken but palpable. There was little doubt that at any instant, history could repeat itself in the wrong place at the wrong time. But Vaughn's confidence masked any fear. He projected an aura as unshakable as the music that surged through the lounge. Refusing to let paranoia disrupt the night, Vaughn and his group eventually filed out into the cool night air. It was close to 2:30 a.m. The street outside Monaco pulsed with life. Engines humming, voices raised in excitement, streetlights illuminating clusters of clubgoers. Suddenly, a heated exchange erupted at the curb. Video evidence and eyewitnesses reveal that words escalated to violent blows between two groups, Vaughn's side and associates of Quando Rondo. Chaos erupted in a matter of seconds. Punches flew, the brawl spiraling out of control. Vaughn was at the center, his fists raised. Friends and foes alike struggled to keep pace, the boundaries between ally and adversary blurring in the heat of the moment. The fight reached a fever pitch, and then gunshots exploded in rapid succession. In the confusion, Vaughn was hit by multiple bullets.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who died, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn. If Brian did that stupid last night, his still would have been alive.
His body collapsed to the ground as panic broke loose all around. Friends lunged to pull him clear, while others scattered for cover. Sirens wailed in the distance. Police cars screeched to a halt, officers flooding the scene just as stray bullets continued to ricochet across the pavement.
Come on, he's shot. Come on, Vic, bro, you got this up. Come on, I just keep breathing, Vic, bro.
Surveillance footage and mobile phone videos filmed the pandemonium. Onlookers shouted for help, their voices lost amid echoes of gunfire. Within minutes, 3 men lay dead, several more injured. In those terrifying moments, Atlanta's vibrant nightlife was replaced by the sterile blue flashing of police and ambulance lights, a bloody contrast to hours earlier. The arrival of paramedics brought a frantic scramble to save lives. Vaughn was placed in the back of an ambulance, blood staining his clothes and the stretcher beneath him. Witnesses recount chaotic scenes as Vaughn's friends banged on the ambulance doors, demanding updates. A police cordon struggled to maintain order. Nearby, traumatized survivors were treated for injuries, their statements hurriedly collected by exhausted officers. As the ambulance sped away to Grady Memorial Hospital, Vaughn drifted in and out of consciousness. EMTs worked feverishly to slow the bleeding, monitoring vital signs as his crew trailed behind, their faces drawn with fear and disbelief. By the time Vaughn reached the hospital, his condition was critical. Surgeons began immediate attempts to stabilize multiple gunshot wounds. Word spread rapidly through hip-hop circles. Friends, managers, and family converged on the ER, desperate to offer support. Throughout the early morning, Vaughn's mother and siblings gathered in the waiting room. A haze of anxiety saturated the air. Doctors emerged with updates, their tone grim. Vaughn was strong, but the injuries were catastrophic. The world outside learned of his plight through brief hospital statements and non-stop social media updates, a digital vigil as the city grieved in real time. Shortly after 3:15 a.m., November 6, 2020, a spokesperson emerged to confirm the news. King Von was gone. The hospital's sterile halls bore witness to raw devastation. Friends collapsed in open grief. Loved ones leaned on one another. Cell phones pressed to trembling faces as they relayed tragedy across the country. The hip-hop world lost one of its brightest rising stars. Atlanta police convened a press briefing, confirming 3 deaths and multiple injuries. Investigations had begun, but the public wanted answers. How did a street conflict escalate so fast? Why had security failed to prevent the disaster? As dawn broke, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook overflowed with heartbroken tributes. Lil Durk, Vaughn's close collaborator, shared a picture in silent mourning. Other rap luminaries, Meek Mill, Chance the Rapper, and 21 Savage, penned messages urging an end to hip-hop violence. Candlelit vigils flickered on the streets of Chicago, Atlanta, and beyond. Industry leaders gave interviews decrying the culture of beef and retribution that continued to claim lives. The pain was collective, a sense that the loss of King Von was not just personal, but emblematic of wounds suffered by a generation of young black artists. Publicly, Von's family released a brief statement mourning their son and brother. Privately, they leaned into one another, stunned at the suddenness of loss. Von's mother recalled their last conversation, his excitement for the future, his promise to come home soon. Cousins from Chicago made the trip to Atlanta, calling for respect and privacy as the family processed the enormity of what had happened. Von's death was complicated by its setting, far from home, at the doorstep of the city that had adopted him, but where violence still shadowed his every step. Days later, autopsy findings were released. Von had suffered multiple fatal gunshot wounds, with the most serious contributing to extensive internal damage. Toxicology screens ruled out any drugs or substances that could have contributed. His death was the direct result of gun violence. The report, dissected by fans and critics alike, was a clinical summation of a life ended in chaos. Debates over gun policy and nightclub security flared in the wake of the findings. Journalists demanded greater accountability, and for many, the autopsy represented both closure and a call to action. The Atlanta Police Department moved quickly to identify suspects. Within days, Timothy Leeks, known as Lul Tim, was arrested and charged with Von's murder. The legal process was swift, but rumors swirled about who else might be implicated. Internet sleuths pored over footage, trying to unravel alliances and motives. For Von's core supporters, the urge for justice clashed with a deeper desire for closure. The streets buzzed with speculation, a haunting reminder that cycles of violence rarely begin or end with a single night. In the aftermath, focus shifted to the reasons behind that fateful encounter. As more details emerged, fans and urban news platforms dissected the rivalry between King Von and Quando Rondo's crew. Social media heated up with claims, counterclaims, and analyses of the security footage. Interviews from both camps revealed years of tension built on local music disputes and street allegiances. The tragedy was not about a single altercation, but years of unresolved conflict, personal slights, and a world where street credibility often meant walking a line between life and death.